Hello everybody, I'm Elder Shorron Vinson and this is It's My Lifestyle. I'm so glad you're here, glad you came by today, you stopped by the channel, and I do hope that we can do this a lot more in the future. I look forward to these times. This is a blessing to me. I want to be a blessing in your life. Whatever it is you're going through, I want you to know there's some place you can go. You can hear a word from the Lord. You can be encouraged. Maybe you'll laugh a little bit. Maybe it'll give you something to think about, but you'll leave inspired. And I hope you take that word, whatever it is you found, and you share it with somebody else so that God's word can go forth and bless his people. I love you so much for all of your support. I want to thank you for those who have subscribed already. If you have not subscribed, please make it gray. Go ahead and click subscribe. You'll get notifications if you desire of upcoming videos, and send your suggestions and your comments. I welcome them all. Today, we're going to talk from a little subject. First things first. First things first. You've heard it all your life probably. It's one of those sayings most of us grew up with, hearing first things first, about putting priorities in place. Today, we're going to take it from a slightly different angle. And I want to talk to those of you who have a dream, you have visions, you have something. It could be your family. It could be just your life in general. You could be a young person just starting out, and you want to know what to do. And I say put first things first. When building anything, we must start from the ground up. You never start top down. You always start from the ground up. It is important what goes in the ground. For a plant to grow, it's important that the seed goes in the ground, excuse me. It's important that if you're building a building, a house, or anything, that the foundation in the ground is first set and ready for the job. You can't start from the top, 5th floor. You have to start at the bottom up to get the proper foundation. It's important in building a life. It's important in building a ministry. Whatever it is that you are attaining or you're striving for, we have to think go low first and build high. That's the way we have to do it. We have to make sure that whatever is at ground level is enough and is strong enough and can support whatever it is we're trying to do. You want a great family? It takes a great unit. Whatever, the man and woman coming together, you have to be strong first. You want a strong household, husband and wife, and loving children, a loving family. It's not easy, but it's attainable. And if anything that you're doing, it's going to take work. It's going to take work. It's going to take faith and tenacity. It's going to take aggression sometimes. It's going to take humility. It's going to take a lot of the different aspects, all of it, to make sure that what you're building comes together. It's not one-sided. You don't want a lopsided building. You want a strong, anchored, steady foundation. You want a strong, steady marriage, strong, steady, whatever it is, ministry, you want it to be effective. And the one thing the Bible tells us about, he tells us in the parables about building your house upon sand. You can't build your house upon sand. When the winds come, and when the winds blow, and when the storms come upon the building, it will not stand. We recently had hurricanes and tornadoes here on the East Coast, and I'm telling you, even the strongest of buildings had a hard time standing. Some things that you thought would never go away went away. Why? Because it was not strong enough to support the wind and that type of weather. But I'm here to tell you that you can do this thing. The one thing about first things first, When you are building something ground level, it's going to take your consistency. You can't leave it today and be there tomorrow, and leave it on the next day and be there the next day. No, you've got to stick with it. You've got to keep building. You got to keep building. You know what? Sometimes that building process, ground level, carving out a foundation, getting things going, that takes some grit. It takes some work. You've got to have some backbone. You've got to have strength from the very beginning in order to have anything. And I'm here to tell you, if you already quitting, you're not going to make it. Sorry, you're not going to make it. Stop quitting. Quit quitting. Quit the quitting. You can't quit. It gets hard. Sometimes there's nobody building but you. Yeah, sometimes it feels like you're in it all alone. Sometimes, and it'll seem that way because that's the way the devil works. He's always got to paint a picture that, you know, you're the only one doing this and you're the only one doing that. Nobody else sees, nobody else does. Okay, maybe so, but it takes everything you can give just to make it manifest. You've got to have a vision. You can't sit here and have the vision today, don't have it tomorrow. You have to stick with it. And I'm telling you, it will work. It will work. And sometimes it seems like you're not getting anywhere. I know you leave home and you have great expectation and you come home whipped and discouraged sometimes. It seems like you have done nothing. You have acquired nothing. Nothing's been accomplished. But I'm here to tell you, stick with it. Stick with it. Stick with it. It's going to work. It's going to happen. Young mothers, and you're raising small toddlers, and they're in the terrible twos, or whatever you want to call them, and they're potty training or whatever. Stick with it. You're building a life. You're carving out a good foundation for your children, for your family. And I'm here to tell you, you can do it. I'm encouraging everybody. Your dream, your vision, it shall come to pass, but you got to stop the quitting. You've got to stop complaining. Whatever you put your mouth to, that's what will manifest. Say it's growing. Say it's manifesting. Call them a child of God. Little boy, you're a man of God. Little girl, you're a woman of God. Tell them, put it in them early. Listen, the only way it's going to happen, you've got to stick with it. And God will give you first things first. Carve out that foundation whereupon you can build whatever it is you're trying to build. Yes, the building will go up. Yes, the house will be built. Yes, the ministry will manifest. You will see it. You will get the revelation. You will see it. Not only will you see it, others will see it and admire it. But they won't know all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it as you do. Oh, all the stripes upon your back, the sweat upon your brow, sleepless nights, walking the floor. Because when you're carrying something, you've got a desire. You wear it. It's on you. The spirit of the thing is on you. You want it. You really see it. You know you're called for this. And I'm here to tell you, you have to stick with it. It will not happen quitting every other day. You'll feel like it, but don't you do it. Don't you do it. Put first things first and carve out a great foundation so you can begin to build. You don't start with the sheetrock. You don't start with the sheetrock, and you don't start putting up drywall. No, you got a ways to go. You got a ways to go. Not to say don't order it. You'll have it down the road. But right now, the carving out that foundation, all of the plumbing and everything, it's going to take just as much high as you're going. It's going to take all of that low to go. You got to keep driving these stakes in the ground. If you're building a ministry, you got to keep praying. Knees to the floor. Keep praying. Knees to the floor. Tears and worship and getting the mind of God and getting his revelation for you. It's going to take all of the knee work to get this done. I'm here to tell you, be strengthened today. Be strengthened today. This is the groundwork. This is the first thing you got to do. First things first. If there's a vision, you've got to have a plan. No plan, no vision. Sometimes it's hard to share the plan. I got to tell you that. Sometimes it's hard to share the plan because you want others to know what it is you're trying to do. If you got a team or a staff, you want them to know. But sometimes things are so dear to your heart. Sometimes you don't want to release it. But when we release it, God will make sure that it began to manifest. Keep praying. That's why you got to pray it through. The enemy want to snatch it before it gets off the ground. He wants it to sabotage it, sneak it, steal the idea, steal the vision. But don't you worry about him. You do your part. First things first. And I hope you hear that today. I hope that blesses you and you can run and use this and share it with somebody else because they need to put first things first too. Everybody's going somewhere, but you got to get there safely. You got to get there the right way, and you've got to do everything that it takes. First things first. So that's all I have for you today. I look forward to our next time. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend. I'll catch you the next time.